Consultation is free, and you won't pay a thing unless there is a recovery in your favor.
Call 800-510-4378, 800-510-4378.
The Upper Peninsula's new CBS station, WZMQ 19.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, we hear from Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel as she joins other states in suing the Trump administration over SNAP benefits. Plus, Election Day is almost here. We'll tell you about the candidates running for a seat on the Gladstone City Commission. And the Marquette Sawyer Regional Airport is adding more flights starting in May of next year. We'll have the details. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Welcome in. Thanks for being here. A first look at your forecast as we head into tonight. Things will be pretty calm. That normal low temperature this time of the year is actually 31 degrees, so not too bizarre to see some 29s on here for Iron River, Iron Mountain, maybe some patchy fog out to Ironwood as they hover around that freezing mark. Seeing some upper 30s for us into Marquette. We will still heat up for tomorrow, but throughout the rest of the night we'll see temperatures into the upper 30s and pretty consistent with those cloudy skies. But we'll have more details on your weekend and Halloween in just a few minutes.
Kelly, thank you very much. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has joined a coalition of 26 states in suing the U.S. Department of Agriculture over the suspension of SNAP benefits. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services announced that it had been advised to pause November SNAP payments just last week. Nessel says the federal government is refusing to tap into billions of dollars in emergency funds that could keep the program running. The pause is expected to impact 1.4 million Michiganders and 42 million nationwide.
Next week, people will be forced to decide between buying groceries or filling prescriptions, or between going into work as scheduled or calling off so that they can come visit a local food bank.
We'll have more from AG Nessel tonight at 11:10 Central. Next Tuesday is Election Day, and in Gladstone, 3 city commission seats are up for grabs. City Commissioners Steve O'Driscoll and Joe Thompson are hoping to retain their positions. One candidate looking to join the board is local business owner Whitney Maloney. Her priorities include increasing revenue by bringing more small businesses to town and creating affordable housing options that will allow young families to stay in Gladstone.
That's going to require a really creative approach, utilizing a lot of different ideas. The North Shore development, rehabbing existing buildings. What we don't need are $500,000 condos on the lake shore that doesn't help our community.
Also vying for a seat is retired electrical engineer Mike O'Connor. Last year, O'Connor advocated for a measure that successfully eliminated the city's power to levy special assessments. He aims to find ways to maintain the city's roads more efficiently and to keep utility costs down.
Even if I don't use any water or any electricity, it still costs $100 a month just to, be connected to the services. Can we cap those fixed costs so that people can be assured that in the future, it's not going to be any more than a certain amount per month?
WZMQ 19 reached out to Commissioners O'Driscoll and Thompson for interviews ahead of the election, but we have not yet received a response. Marquette Sawyer Regional Airport recently announced an upcoming expansion of Chicago flights next year. MQT will service United Airlines flights 3 times daily to and from O'Hare International Airport, utilizing an aircraft seating around 50 passengers. Sawyer management says after searching for additional options for many years, the change will hopefully make connecting flights easier for local students and tourists to access.
We have seen that level of service to that airport before. But United coming in here with 3 flights a day in addition to American's flights really just increases the connectedness of Marquette to other airports, and hopefully will also, with that competition, reduce fares as well, make it easier to fly in and out of here.
United service will begin May 21st of 2026. Your first warning weather forecast is after the break. Kelly will give us an update on how much rain we might expect on Halloween night. And millions of women and babies rely on a critical food program, but with the government shutdown dragging on, its future is in jeopardy. We'll have the details when we come back.
For the best pre-owned cars, come to John's Auto Market. If you mess up when I get it right, I swear. For the best pre-owned cars, the best service, and best detailing, come to John's Auto Marquette. I shouldn't have looked at her.
Georgie and Mandy is TV's #1 comedy, and Thursday, it's big.
My mom's out on a date.
Maybe she would like some male companionship?
Can we please talk about anything else? See, you're making her uncomfortable.
She can say when she's uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable.
The Bible does speak to this.
Love it.
If her husband dies, she is free to be married to whom she wishes.
What else you got?
We got a big new Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. CBS this Thursday.
Closed captioning sponsored by Range Bank of Upper Michigan.
Pure Outdoor is the first program dedicated to increasingly popular outdoor and eco sports. Individual and adventurous. Journey to the world's most exotic, breathtaking locations. Pure Outdoor.
I'm Drew Carey from The Price is Right here on TV 19.
For the best pre-owned cars, come to John's Auto Marquette. If you mess up when I get it right, I swear. For the best pre-owned cars, the best service, and best detailing, come to John's Auto Marquette. I shouldn't have looked at her.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Shunk Furniture.
At Shunk's Fall Sale, with our low prices, it's a great time to redo your living room and family room at Shunk's. We give you the largest selection of sofas, love seats, and sectionals in the latest styles of fabric or leather. And reclining furniture for the family room, we've got it. Reclining sofas, love seats, and sectionals, and matching recliners with power or without. Hundreds of recliners to choose from. I lowered the price on Lazy Boy recliners. They start at just $2.99. Shop Shunk's at Marquette today.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
And welcome back. A main look at your forecast. We'll see temperatures for tonight into the mid-30s. There might be some patchy fog too out to kind of the western half of the Upper Peninsula. This is also where we'll see some cooler temperatures. We're seeing 20s on here, I know, still seeing mid to upper 30s for us into Marquette. So with that being said, this Iron Mountain, Iron River area will have a higher chance of some frost into the overnight. This is a look at tomorrow morning at around 7 o'clock. So as you send the kiddos out to the bus stop, maybe headed to work tomorrow, just make sure you have the layers. This is a pretty consistent thing now. The average temperature in the overnight is 31, so it's really not out of the question for everyone to see a little bit of frost, especially with these high temperatures. Still on the cooler side, anticipating some rain here. We'll start to see it just a little bit here on your future cast. Still a nice fall day on the way for tomorrow. Some clouds moving in and out, but staying dry, kind of preparing for this system that's on the way for Halloween. We'll start to see that northerly flow. This is a little bit of that lake effect shower situation we have going on. So I don't think Halloween's going to be a washout, but we will likely see some scattered or isolated showers here, maybe 1/10 of an inch for most of us for Halloween itself, but it'll mostly be breezy. The winds are more an impact for Halloween, so it may feel a bit cooler than these temperatures that we have here. This is not the feels like temperatures. Will still be into the mid-40s kind of for that prime trick-or-treating time, and as you start to head home, it'll likely be into the lower 40s, maybe even 30s for some of the Upper Peninsula. Cloudy, breezy, rainy, that's just what we can expect at the moment for this time for Halloween. Highs into the mid-40s, still seeing those cooler temperatures and some lingering showers for Saturday, but once we get to Sunday, clearing skies, slightly warmer, and you get an extra hour of sleep with daylight saving time. Here's a look at the future winds too, kind of when we can expect this system. We'll start to see that northerly flow, and of course the lake effect rain is what we're going to be experiencing for Friday. And just a quick update on Hurricane Melissa. We did see it make landfall yesterday as a Category 5 through Jamaica, impacting already the southern portions of Cuba. Still likely a hurricane, a lower end one, not major anymore, but Category 2 as it moves through the Bahamas. But we've already seen lots of loss of life and property in ways that are just unimaginable. So we still are going to be seeing long-lasting effects from this system, and this is a great time where everyone can try to just come together, because this was a a major event, one for the history books, one of the strongest hurricanes in the Atlantic. So again, just to recap, temperatures will be pretty cool tonight, upper 20s, lower 30s, but we will still will warm up, but just a little bit. Some seasonal conditions for Thursday. We know it'll be a bit cooler for Halloween. Weekend still looking great overall, but as we get into next week, slightly warmer too. Finally seeing some mid-50s. Don't know how much longer they will hold on, but a mixed sky to start off this week and temperatures into the mid to upper 50s.
Kelly, thank you again. As the government shutdown continues, essential food programs like WIC, which helps women and babies get healthy food and referrals to health and social services, is at risk of running out of money. Some states say they will be able to keep their WIC services up and running for the first few days of November, but after that, it's unclear how long WIC can continue without federal help. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
WIC, the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, provides free healthy foods, education, and support for pregnant, postpartum women and babies up to their 5th birthday. The National WIC Association, which represents everyone working for the federal WIC program, says they help a little less than 7 million people in the WIC program.
We serve a little less than half of all babies born in this country, so it's a really significant reach, this program, and that's one of the reasons we're so concerned about what could happen if we do run out of funds.
Due to the shutdown, the Trump administration provided $300 million in funds to prevent a funding lapse for this food aid program through the end of October. But the NWA says it might not be enough come November.
We will need additional emergency funds to keep our clinic doors open and to keep providing that healthy food package to families. So we are calling on the White House right now to provide additional emergency funds immediately.
The NWA is worried about possible disruptions in providing help to women and babies, especially for low-income families.
We're really concerned about the health impact in the short term, but also in the long term. And we saw some of that during the infant formula crisis too. In 2022, we know from the data that families had to make terrible decisions like watering down formula, and that's incredibly dangerous for babies. So the stakes are really, really high, and it's just a terrible position to put moms and families in.
Some congressional members are introducing legislation that would provide funding for these federal food programs like WIC and SNAP, even during a government shutdown. But it would be difficult to pass those pieces of legislation simply because the House has been out of session. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has kept the House out of session to put pressure on Senate Democrats so they would pass that clean continuing resolution. At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
Coming up next on Insights, Northern Michigan University has a new exhibit focused on the history of shipwrecks in the Great Lakes. We'll add the details when we come back.
Now through October at Fox Marquette Ford. Lease a 2025 Ford Explorer active 4-wheel drive for $499 a month for 36 months with $1,000 due at signing. Fox Marquette Ford. Experience the difference.
It's the Kirkish Furniture Spooky Savings Sale with scary good deals on appliances and more. Get up to 40% off Amish dining room sets. This Encore Effortless Soft Queen Mattress just $599. Whirlpool Top Load Washer $549. Going on now in Houghton.
The CBS Evening News original content.
The U.S. is short about 3,000 air traffic controllers.
Is that an effective way to train?
There's new life for the city of Youngstown.
You're letting the light back in.
The CBS Evening News.
Help. When you fall and can't get help, you will lie on the floor for hours or days in constant, terrible anguish, which often results in a tragic outcome. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
With any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether at home,
I've fallen and I can't get up.
in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
or on the go.
Help! I'm in the park and I can't get up.
And batteries never need charging. Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-998-6449. That's 1-800-998-6449. Call now, 1-800-998-6449.
Now through October at Fox Marquette Ford. Lease a 2025 F-150 XLT Hybrid Super Crew. 4-wheel drive for $479 a month for 36 months with $1,000 due at signing. Fox Marquette Ford. Experience the difference.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. November is just around the corner, and it's notably the most dangerous month of the year for shipwrecks on the Great Lakes. Here to discuss a new exhibit on the history of those wrecks is Dan Truckee, Director of NMU's Beaumere UP Heritage Center. Dan, good to see you again.
You too, Kevin. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's been a while, so tell us about this new exhibit.
Well, the exhibit focuses specifically on shipwrecks in Lake Superior in the month of November, the gales of November, as we call it. Because it's just some of the most tragic events, but especially the Edmund Fitzgerald took place during that month. And there's so many incredible stories of storms in particular that we felt needed to be highlighted.
Sure, and November is known as a very dangerous month for ships. Why is that?
It's the systems that are coming in both from the north and the south. So you have this collision of weather systems that are very different from one another, and cold fronts and warm fronts, and once they hit the lakes, they can create just havoc, and they have over the years, definitely.
All right, and you already mentioned the Edmund Fitzgerald. Are there any other famous wrecks that are a part of this exhibit?
Yeah, I mean, to people who are maritime historians, definitely so. I think to the average public person, no, there would be kind of new territory other than the Fitzgerald, which is part of the reason to do it, is to make people aware of other wrecks other than just the Fitzgerald and the history of shipwrecks in the Great Lakes.
And I know this is the 50th anniversary of the Edmund Fitzgerald wreckage. So just how big of an event was that for that ship in particular to go down?
It was a huge deal because it's the last major ship that's ever gone down. And even at that time, where there had been shipwrecks before then, in recent years, nothing of that stature. It was the largest ship on the lakes at the time. And so it was quite a shock that it went down. But, studies have shown that there were some good reasons it did, because it just wasn't in as good a condition as it could have been, and it had taken too many storms because it had been relied on too much.
All right, gotcha. As far as the actual exhibit, is it pictures? Is it writings? Tell us about the actual exhibit.
It's a little bit of everything. There's lots of historic images. There's a lot of interpretive text, but we have a lot of artifacts on loan from Isle Royale National Park of shipwrecks that are located there. And one of the cool things are weather maps from the days that they occurred. You can get the weather map going back to 1872 for every day online, and so we featured those. It really tells quite a story.
Sure, and as far as continuing on the Edmund Fitzgerald, what was the weather like that day?
It was nasty. It was not the worst storm. I think, it's maybe in the top 10 of storms. There have been many worse than that, but it was a pretty nasty day from what you could tell. And but there were many ships that survived it. The Fitzgerald went down, like I said, because there were other issues with the ship. So,
wait, what can you tell us about those other issues? What was going wrong?
Well, the problem was that it had been through way too many storms over time, and so had taken a lot of damage. Some, but some of it was not noticeable, they believe. I mean, in the end, nobody knows exactly what happened, but they believe ultimately it's just that it just couldn't continue in the condition that it was in, and the storm was just too harsh, and so that really ended it.
Gotcha. All right. So Gales of November. Dan, tell us how long this exhibit is going to stay up, and where can people find it?
Well, we're located on campus in Grease Hall, at least through December, and the exhibit will be up until just before Christmas time.
All right. Gotcha. Any other fun facts you wanted to share with us about the exhibit at all, Dan?
No, I mean, I just want people to come and experience it. People have really been seeming to enjoy it, so I hope they'll come check it out.
All right. Excellent. Dan, always good to have you on, my friend. Good to see you again.
You too.
All right, and we're talking about the history of Spread Goodness Day with one of the founders tomorrow. That conversation is only on 19 News Insights. When we come back, Easton from Northern Scales Reptiles returns for another creature feature. We'll introduce you to our last spooky-themed animal for the month. But first, here's your Yoopers United Volunteer Opportunity of the Day. Connect Marquette will soon have some new openings on their board of directors. As a member, volunteers will help facilitate professional and social events in Marquette County. Registration is due by October 31st. To sign up to be a volunteer or check out other opportunities, just head to youpersunited.com. And before we go to break, here are some of the trick-or-treating times from around the UP.
New CBS Thursday.
You and I have to find a way to work together.
Kathy Bates is back in the new season of Matlock.
We only get one shot.
Fire in the hole! I do not believe you or trust you. Then what is with the plant?
I'm putting down roots. Sounds like the storms are coming.
Matlock is all new CBS Thursday, 9/8 Central, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
We examine EKGs and use advanced imaging to uncover minute details. But what we see is you. We see how your heart beats with love and powers laughter. Even as we practice the latest medical science and perform advanced procedures, what we see is how we can help you live a healthy and active life. Healthcare is a lot of things, but the best care is human. Aspirus Heart Care. What we see is you.
Important alert. Were you sexually abused by a priest in Illinois or any of these other states? You may now be entitled to significant compensation. The Illinois Attorney General released a report citing the church for protecting hundreds of sexual predator priests involving thousands of victims. Call 800-922-6777 today for a free and confidential consultation. It's 800-922-6777. Time is limited, so don't wait.
This is extreme crime. To catch him, they'll use every trick in the book.
We were operating against ghosts, and ghosts are tough to find.
Top investigators and police use the latest forensic science to uncover the truth and solve real cases. The devil is always in the details. Forensic Factor.
Welcome back, everyone, and welcome back to you, Easton. Another edition of Creature Feature. We have another reptile on today to finish off the month of October.
Yeah, so today I brought you guys a tokay gecko. These guys are by far probably the one gecko, or at least I'll say reptile, that every reptile keeper has had a small fear of sometime in their life, in my personal opinion. Yeah. I definitely have, but they're not too bad once you get to know them a little bit.
Yeah, it's some interesting colors on this one, Easton. Tell us about that. Do they come in other colors as well?
They come in a lot of different colors. So they have genetic morphs like the other animals I've brought on that will have different colorations, kind of like human hair color. Some of them can show up in like pink, purple, translucent, some greens. There's one that we have called Candy. Candy is also the name of its morph. It's like a green and blue instead of orange and blue like this. But this is actually its natural colors. There's light blue, dark blue, orange on there. It's like a lichen rock kind of coloration.
Mm-hmm. And you wanted to point out that you're not actually squeezing the lizard tooth. That's not why his mouth is open.
So their mouths. So I'm not squeezing them. I'm not trying to choke them at all. But usually with more aggressive animals like this, a little loose grip for like a gecko will go a long way in like just kind of restraining them, nothing too much. They think it's a predator, so they're just gonna hold still. These guys though, if I get too close or give him the opportunity, he'll open his mouth a little more and be like, oh, this is my chance to actually get out of the grip. But they're quite friendly little dudes when left alone, but when you do tend to mess with them, they will chase you. That is one of the reasons that people are sometimes afraid of these guys, because they're one of the smaller guys that are like, you know what? They're afraid of me. I can see that. I can chase them across the room. They're not going to do anything. He didn't really chase me, but he did definitely stand up against me, and then I grabbed him. He's like, oh, that's it. No more.
Not much of a fight after that.
Yeah.
Easton, tell us where they're found.
So these guys are found in Southeast Asia. They're primarily insectivores. They can also eat small reptiles from time to time. Very communal though, because they live in large communities of these geckos found all over the place in villages, in the dense forest that they have around there. But a large part of the community around there, the culture in Southeast Asia, all the way up into like China, is that they're a very mythical creature there in their culture. These guys are a symbol of luck and fertility, which is really cool that they have that spiritual kind of connection to that. A lot of, in like older ancient cultures, they thought they were related to dragons, or the Chinese dragon to be specific. But through a science standpoint, they are very fertile animals. They're maybe not the luckiest thing to have around, because you're definitely gonna get bit if you accidentally go buy one, or if you accidentally make them mad, which could be just existing around them, as he's actually calming down right now, but they usually get a little more mad every now and then. You can also find them in Florida though. They're all over Florida. They're an invasive species there that actually, this one is from Florida, basically through an effort to make sure that we don't have to euthanize those animals after they've been wrongly placed there in a place that they're not native to. Sometimes pet stores like us and other ones in Lower Michigan and across the US will take them in so they don't have to be euthanized. They do go through treatments for parasites and diseases that come from the wild, so they can be safe for captivity.
Gotcha. And that was pointed out to me by one of our favorite YouTubers slash TikTok guys, Fishing Garrett, who's in Florida all the time removing these guys. But how do they make us pets? Because he's usually trying to
You rehome them. Rehome them. Honestly, they're really great little like centerpiece, kind of like a fish tank. You can get them to be friendly. I have seen toka geckos that literally people sit on their shoulders, they sit there to take pets. But in my opinion, if you want an animal that you don't need to love physically, toka gecko's your perfect gecko for that.
Gotcha. All right, Easton, and that wraps up our October version
November
of Creature Feature. I'm sure you're going to be bringing something in cuddly next time, right?
No.
No, all right. Easton, thank you so much as always. Always glad to have you.
us.
And Kelly Rowland will have our final look at weather when we come back.
Our home, full of beauty, energy, and opportunity. But in today's world, your business needs more than foot traffic. It needs screen traffic. That's where PowerPlay Digital comes in. Digital advertising that delivers. We bring your message to life on streaming platforms, mobile apps, websites, social media, and beyond. Reach more people, grow your brand, get results. PowerPlay Digital. Put your business in front of the eyes that matter across every screen.
This is home, it's where we get along. This is home, and together we're strong. Oh, this is home. This is home, it's our town, it's our song. This is home, this is where we belong. This is home. Yeah. This is home.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports. See the greatest names and the greatest games in all sports. Top 10 miracle finishes, top 10 comebacks, the 10 greatest women in sports. Want to see who's number one? Watch all the way to the end of the show. Sports fans love it, and you will too. That's the short list, counting down the top 10 of everything in sports. Only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
And a final look at your forecast. Things will still be calm for tonight, but we know it's going to get colder. We do see some 20s on this map, some upper 20s, lower 30s, still mid 30s, about 38 degrees for us into Marquette. Some increasing cloud cover, still going to be nice and dry for tomorrow, but as we get closer to Halloween, we'll have a better chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not going to be a complete washout. Still have your Halloween plans. Maybe just incorporate some sort of windbreaker or rain jacket for your Halloween costume. Weekend starts to dry out as you get an extra sleep back over the weekend.
Kelly, thank you again. Finally tonight, for over 3 years, the Watersmeet Township Public Schools has been integrating Ojibwe language, heritage, and culture into its curriculum. That effort has paid off with higher test scores, lower truancy rates, and a reduction in behavioral issues. Today, a top official from the Michigan Department of Education's Indigenous Education Initiative team, Nate Beelan, visited campus to recognize those improvements and find ways to implement them throughout the state.
The idea of incorporating the Indigenous language and culture into everything that they do, and that has really seemed to be reaping dividends for the school district, not just for their Indigenous learners, but for all their students.
That's all we have for right now, everyone. We'll see you later tonight.
Hurricane Melissa, blamed for dozens of deaths on a rampage across the islands of the Caribbean.